learning to let go is probably one of the most important lessons you will ever learn in your life. And it's a beautiful thing. It's something that I learned recently, and like genuinely, it's been so freeing to learn how to let go. Um, so I'm in college now. I go to NC State. Um, it's pretty cool, but you know, I just spent my summer just ended like a few months ago, and that period of time where you graduate high school and you have that summer up until college is really an interesting time. You don't have that much time left with a lot of your friends, and you just got to make the most of it. And genuinely, like, this was the best summer I've had of my entire life. I did so much fun stuff with my friends, and it was just a summer I'll never forget. Um, Genuinely the greatest summer of my life. I had so much fun. But the thing is that whether it be like friends or other people, it's important that you learn how to let go. And by that I don't mean dropping people, forgetting about people, ignoring people, blocking people, or anything like that. No, like letting go in a healthy way, in a sense that you are still friends with this person or whatever, you still love them, but you're not obsessing. Does that make sense? So like, essentially, what I mean by learning how to let go is to stop being so overly obsessive and attached to people in a way that is harmful to you. And so that's something that I learned basically from like this summer all the way up to now in college. And I think a lot of times, like, a lot of people, myself included, can be very obsessive over others, right? We can be really stressed and worried about, like, does this person like me? Why aren't they texting me back? Like, when are they gonna text me back? Like, where are they at right now? What are they doing? Like, why won't they respond to me? Do they care about me at all? Like, how do they think of me? And I think we crave a lot of attention from other people. It's natural to want attention from others, right? It makes us feel good. But I think we get caught up sometimes in our heads, and we start to wonder, like, are we good enough for some of these people, or something like that. But ultimately, letting go is essentially like getting rid of that obsession that you might have for others. And it's unhealthy because you're always kind of down or stressed. You might be just constantly anxious. You kind of lose your peace of mind. And it's just hard mentally. It's a little bit harder to live like that when you're obsessing over someone. And so the thing is that, like, something that I hear a lot is you need to have self-love. You need to be able to love yourself. And if you love yourself, that'll show. And it's just a beautiful thing to be able to love yourself, right? I completely agree. Everyone should have self-love and be able to love themselves. Especially because if you want to love someone else, how could you possibly do that if you don't have enough love within you for yourself to give to someone else? You can't possibly love someone else if you don't have enough love within yourself. It's just not possible, right? But I've always sat there and wondered, what does self-love mean? Like, what does that look like? How do I love myself? And there's some questions out there that you just can't get the answers to on, like, Google. And that's one of them. Okay? I mean, if you searched up, how do I love myself, and tried looking for an answer on the internet, you'd probably find some stuff that tells you how to do it, but that's a very personal thing right there. And everyone has to learn how to love themselves. It's different. It's a different process for everyone. It's something so personal to you, right? There's some questions that you just can't answer on Google. Something you got to discover about yourself is how to love yourself. And so, what I would say is, self-love is very much dependent on loving who you are, what you do, and loving every aspect about you. And if you don't, clearly, make some changes so that you can be more like the version of yourself you want to be, right? Loving yourself means you should accept yourself for who you are. But I think another aspect of it that isn't thought about as much is letting go. When you let go of the unhealthy obsessions that you have permanently, and I mean you will never, ever again feel like you have to stress about how someone else feels about you or whatever, anything like that. When you let go, you have your peace of mind back, you have your calm back, and you can just mind your own business, right? And I think that's a beautiful thing. The relief and the calm that you get when you finally learn how to let go is incredible. And so I don't mean stop loving your friends, your family, your significant other, or whatever. Not what I mean at all. You can be attached to someone. But to obsess over someone is a completely different thing. And it's unhealthy. And you're removing yourself of your happiness. And a lot of times you'll find that when you're too attached, overly attached to someone, your happiness is dependent on that person, which should not be the case, right? Now, obviously, there's gonna be moments where we are incredibly attached to people and we will be sad because, maybe something happened to them. And that's completely natural. But to be obsessed with someone for a long time in a way that doesn't help you or doesn't allow you to feel peace is problematic. So, yeah, learn how to let go of these obsessions that you have for the people around you. And if you do, you'll realize that you can love the people around you calmly and confidently and strongly. And you won't have these questions in your mind of, what do they think about me? Do they even care about me? Do they even want to talk to me? They were active on this app not that long ago. Why haven't they responded to me? What are they up to? Why won't they talk to me? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you let go. Because you can still love those people and not obsess over them. At least that's what I think, and that's what I learned. Is obsession can be annoying when you're obsessed with someone, right? And so learning to let go is something that I think everyone will go through. It's a process. For everyone, it'll be different. But when you finally understand it and it clicks, you can genuinely go into every social relationship that you will have and feel so much better because you're not worrying all the time. The whole idea that I think drives, this whole letting go thing is if you don't let go, you're just worried a lot of times about your perception of yourself and how other people perceive you. So stop worrying so much about how other people think of you. right? The people you care about, you should care about them with peace and with calm in your mind and in your heart, I think, at least. I know this is a really random video, but just something that was on my mind, something that I learned that I thought was pretty beautiful. I want to make more videos like this, just because I think they're fun. If you think they're corny, that's fine. I don't really care. I've seen a lot of videos like this where people would just go out there and just kind of record like this raw video where not a ton of edits or anything like that. You're just kind of speaking how you feel, and yeah, I mean, as you start to get older, you learn a lot of life lessons, and I think one of them is letting go. And it's an important one to learn. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. Yeah, have a good day.